I have got 10 days to make this the fastest Gallardo in the world. The thing is, before it becomes that, we need to make it look the fastest Gallardo in the world. Let's do this. So let me keep you up to date. The guys at Need for Speed have been watching my videos and reached out to me to set me a challenge to build one of the fastest and coolest looking Lamborghini Gallardos in the whole entire world. But with one catch, I've got to do it in 10 days. Now we've all done it. Pick a car on the Need for Speed game, customize the looks, and then increase the performance and test it out on the street. But now this is the chance to live a childhood dream and do this thing for real. So here it goes. I simply cannot deny the Lamborghini looks so good in black. And that's just the beauty of a wrap. This car has been around the whole of Europe and the paint still looks as good as when I first collected it. The thing is, it's just not me, and I'm terrible at looking after paint, especially black paint. Which is why I have a completely new design and a completely new wrap. I really hope that this is gonna look good. But before we start to wrap the Gallardo, we've got to prepare it by taking wing mirrors, door handles, and a lot of other stuff off. To get the wing mirror off, I've got to take the door card off, and the wiring for the wing mirror takes a really strange route. So I'm tying a load of zip ties to the wire so I can reattach the wires to the zip ties when installing the wing mirror back in place, if that makes sense. Then next up is the rear spoiler. This is pretty easy to take off. There's a load of covers under the boot lid. Kevin came to inspect it, and before you know it, the wing is disconnected. Then we're just about ready to lay the first piece of wrap, which is one whole piece on one side. Now yes, the design is very brave, but I'll get onto why I picked this design in a minute. But for now, it's the challenge of wrapping the whole side of the Gallardo in one piece. Well, near enough one side is on, and if I'm honest, I'm not sure. I'm a little unsure. So it's EA Sports Need for Speed. They have set us this challenge. So the Change Your Lane is to commemorate the new Need for Speed coming out. We've got the HWBT, the Hard Work Beats Talent, which is obviously our slogan. And between us and the vehicle wrapping centre, we've came up with a design that will represent me, whilst also giving that Need for Speed vibe. But we still have a long way to go, and we're only on day 2, and I can't wait to get this thing over 1,000 horsepower. So let's carry on. Now the thing is, when wrapping a car, you have to be so patient, and sometimes things take a lot longer than usual. And day 2 flew past like a breeze, especially when I've got other projects to get on with as well, as you've been watching through the previous videos. Day 3, I wouldn't normally do the other side yet. I would do the bumpers and everything, but we've only got Liam and Chris for a limited amount of time, and it takes 3 people to stretch one side of wrap on the other side of the car. So we're gonna have to spin this thing around and get the other side of the wrap on, which is completely different to this side. So day 3 came so quick, which left me with only 7 days left. And we haven't even got half of the car wrapped yet. But luckily I've got Liam and Chris to help me with this side of the car, so we can lay the full piece down and then crack on with heating it and cutting all the panels out. A printed wrap design like one of these takes a lot longer to wrap because you have to make sure each panel lines up with each other. So that's why I'm doing the whole side in one whole piece. Right here I'm using knifeless tape to cut the wrap, which is like a fishing line which you place underneath it before you put the wrap down. Then when you lift up the tape, it cuts the wrap to avoid you using a knife and cutting any paintwork underneath. Because of the sharp lines in the car, it makes it impossible to do in all one piece. And that's why we have to inlay little pieces of wrap like this. But it lines up so well, it's almost impossible to see. And before you know it, day 4 is on the horizon. And we're onto the bumpers, one of the most trickiest parts of most cars to wrap. But luckily I've wrapped this car before, so I've got a little experience with what to do here. And it isn't the biggest bumper in the world. With the front bumper done, me and Hannah are onto the roof. This panel is pretty easy because it's flat, and it's the same with the engine cover or the boot lid. And the days are just flying by. Now I know a bad workman always blames his tools, but I'm gonna blame my tools here. This wrap, I think it's called Arlon, never used it before. It's been so difficult to work with. Bubbles just get in it, and then you heat them up and more bubbles come out, and it's really difficult to actually get them out. If this was my first time wrapping a car with this wrap, I would be put off trying to wrap another car because it's been so difficult, especially in the time frame we're trying to do this. It might work, we'll see. We're on the final bits right now. But regardless of that, I'm really enjoying transforming my Lamborghini Gallardo, and I cannot wait for the outcome. We are almost complete, and there's a few more things we need to do before we finish this thing off, and it goes off to be, well, sent to the moon. If we're going to be aiming for that 1,000 brake horsepower mark, then we're going to need tyres that can put that power down. So we're going to be replacing the 2 Michelins on the back with Nankang AR1 tyres. That's if they fit. These are road legal racing slicks. And if you've watched the previous videos on the Gallardo, then you would know it's now rear wheel drive. So we need all the grip we can get. And you would also know that we have a little head start when it comes to getting this towards 1,000 bhp, because I've already installed 2 turbos to the back of this V10 engine, which runs just over 800 horsepower at the moment, 300 more than standard. Now the guys at Wheelmania are installing the Nankang AR1 tyres, and we're about to find out whether they're actually going to fit. Well, I can tell you for almost free that these are not going to fit. But we're going to try it, and if they don't fit, we can go back to the original tyre, but let's see. It might work, but it might look completely stupid. The only thing I'm worried about is this ramp goes down so fast and you can't control it, and if it goes down and then absolutely smashes the rear quarter, we've had it. So I'm going to try and control this, but well, let's see. Oh, could we have fitment? I don't know if I'm sold on them or not. We'll see. So you're probably wondering why there's no rear bumper on at the moment. Well, we were cutting it close for time, and Ricky at RE Performance needs the Lambo for as much time as possible. And I also want as much power as possible. So instead of spending the time wrapping the rear bumper, I decided to leave it exposed now to leave a maximum airflow to those air filters at the back of the car. Well, the idea was to create something which looks like it came out of a PlayStation game, and I think we've smashed it. The wrap is definitely growing on me. I wasn't too sure at the start, but now I think I'm sold. Let me know what you guys think. Can't dwell on this because we've only got a few more days left to get this thing tuned and get the power up on it. I know a few of you are going to be triggered by the no rear bumper. That'll be going on towards the end, but we need it off to go on the dyno. But it looks absolutely mad. I know we're going to annoy so many Lamborghini owners who just want to keep their cars standard, but I don't even know what to say. It's meant to be a PlayStation game car. It is a PlayStation game car. This is just living the dream for me. Let's get this to RE Performance, and then we could truly turn this thing into an absolute monster. Let's go. And here we are, RE Performance. With most of day 6 spent travelling, we've got a lot of catching up to do because it's day 7 already. So we're heading straight for RE's dyno cell, but there's still some work to do. This is it, and this is where the magic is about to happen. RE Performance, but we can't just start pushing this thing to 1,000 brake just yet. We need one man and one part, and that's why we came here. And here is the exact man we need.
Thanks.
Ricky is taking care of this, and he's going to tell you everything we need to get this to maximum power, and the whole video is going to be, well, transferred over to you now, Ricky. It's all on you.
Flames.
You've got 3 days.
Thanks. That makes me feel better.
See you in 3 days. Ricky's about to take over this whole video now.
Synchronize our watches.
Now. I actually ended up staying late in the evening to help Ricky with the Gallardo, as we knew we was on such a tight time scale. And the tuning side of things is definitely not a 5-minute job. Now you've seen the 2 turbos at the back of the car, that's pushing more air into the engine. But what we were struggling with last time was the fuel. We needed more fuel with that air to get more power, and we didn't have enough pressure. So we're going to be installing an uprated fuel pump. And this is located behind the seats in the Lambo. This is actually the low pressure fuel pump. This fuel pump is in charge of sending fuel from the fuel tank to the high pressure fuel pump. And then the high pressure fuel pump will send fuel to the injectors, which will then send it into the combustion chamber. Ricky says that the high pressure one is more than capable. It's the low pressure one we need to take off.
So, in there is a fuel pump. So the only thing we've got to be careful of now we've got this new big uprated pump in and a bigger diameter tube, is we've got to be careful to make sure we plug in the level senders. So there's 2 of them. We've got to make sure then we plug in the main feed pipe on the bottom of the cap and then the main feed to the pump. But what we're going to do first is we're just going to give this a bit of a clean up, put the new seal in, a little bit of assembly lube so that when you pop the cap down it doesn't pinch and grab it and pull it out of the way. So let's get on it.
New fuel pump in, and Ricky's now reassembling the whole thing, and we're hoping now this will be the key to more power. After Ricky's put the seal in and everything else, he's put a little camera in there just to make sure the seal is sitting nice, and once it's confirmed that it is, it's just a case of putting everything back together. After that, day 8 passed, then day 9, and we heard nothing until the final day. It's day 10 now. We're on the last day and we're heading down to RE Performance, whether it is done or not. So we're hoping Ricky has came through and we're going to be running it on the dyno today with all the new mods on it. Let's hope we can push it more towards that 1,000 brake, or maybe a bit over. We're about to find out what Ricky's done. We arrived at RE Performance and I was feeling a little nervous but excited at the same time. And we headed straight for the dyno cell, where the Gallardo was strapped and ready for Judgment Day. I can't wait to see what this runs. Here we go. Have we done it? Can we break the 1,000 horsepower mark? Let's see. They're all keeping it a bit quiet for me at the minute. We sincerely apologise to all of Ricky's neighbours. Now, once Ricky had warmed the Gallardo, I did not expect what was about to happen next. It's literally a joke. I don't know what they've done, but it definitely wasn't like that before. Party trick's over. It's time for the real run. Just yet, but we're about to find out. I was filming, I just kept the camera to map it. The heat that came off that, I had to move it all the way back. And the noise, I've never heard anything like that. So James, who made the kit at Push Performance, and then the guys at RE Performance, who have somehow transformed this into hopefully a 1,000 bhp monster. How many Section 59s am I going to get tonight? This is ridiculous. Let's get the results and see if we've done it on day 10. Here he is, the man of the moment. Have we done it? He's Come on.
You want to do it, or should I tell you? What do you want it to start? What do you want it to start with?
1.
You want it to start with 1?
Will it start with? Does it start with
Starts with
1?
1.
It starts with 1. Come on.
146 horsepower.
Have we done it in 10 days?
1001.
1001 horsepower, and here's the result. Just to note, this is 1001 engine horsepower, but regardless, it's still insanely fast. I think the guys have smashed it. What? There's only one thing now. It's time to drive it. I don't think I could ever put across how fast this car is on camera. I just don't. And Liam's behind the camera now, and he's going to witness it for like the first time. But it is stupid. I can never explain this, and I'm going to try and put it across to you guys as best as I can. But it's definitely going to be drinking a lot of this. Let's get this thing on the road. Oh my god! That was a... Did you see the back light on there? That was stupid. That was bad. Oh my god! Oh my god, that is absolutely insane.
Yeah, you ready to do this? Let's do it!
Well, EA, I think we did it. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
If in the next year, because it's 2-wheel drive as well, if on the road, not a Santa Pod, that doesn't count, on the road, if he can get on it 100% throttle in second and do second, third and fourth, 100% throttle to the red line and prove it, he can come to my workshop and take what he wants.
I need to go for a wee now.
You're like a drug that